Everybody, thanks for clicking on Storm Talk. This is Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to run through several things here for this post. We're going to cover rain chances this afternoon, chance for a few thunderstorms. We're going to talk about the frost potential and the Saturday mess that could be coming our way. And then, of course, we'll give you a sneak peek into Oaks and Derby. All right, here is the latest in the outlooks. They have pushed the marginal risk into West Kentucky. It does not include any of our counties. Marginal, again, below slight when it comes to the scale. And I'll let you know in just a few minutes here why that is a marginal risk. As we head into tomorrow, mainly for Dallas, the enhanced area for severe weather, once again, it's going to be limited to our south because we're going to be in much more of a cooler pattern here in the Ohio Valley. Even as we head into Thursday, the risk will stay across Texas all the way into Louisiana. These guys are getting hammered a lot lately, and they will continue to take the brunt of the severe weather way it's looking. All right, for us this afternoon, we've been tracking a few spotty showers that have been trying to pop on the radar, but the atmosphere is pretty dry in the lower levels. You can see how the cumulus clouds have been popping here along this front and this boundary. It's moving through the area. It's trying to squeeze out whatever it can moisture-wise, but it's raining in the clouds. That's why the radar sees it. But it's so dry in the lower levels that a lot of that is not making it to the ground. Some of it is, but not all of it. But nevertheless, cloud cover has certainly increased, and the gusty winds continue. Right now, I got a gust of 33 miles per hour, and we're at 64 degrees. Gusts close to 40 cannot be rolled out the next few hours, so hang on tight for this afternoon. So why is this a marginal risk for West Kentucky? Well, several factors. One, instability. Yeah, we got a lot of sun, but instability is just not that impressive when you look at the Cape. Seeing time, especially this time of year, you want to see something a little more closer to 1,000, 1,500 on up. And right now, the Capes are about 500 in Missouri and barely 250 in West Kentucky, and not a big deal. Shear, anything over 40 is when you start worried about potential for severe damaging winds. A little pocket here in Missouri. Elsewhere, just very, very weak shear across West Kentucky into Missouri. That's why it's marginal. That's why they issued the marginal risk, because before they did these new scales, this would be what they call a C-text area on the SPC Outlook. Not a slight, but C-text, and you have to click the text to see what it says, and it would say marginal severe weather. So what they did, instead of just drawing C-text, they actually drew the marginal outline, and that's why, again, it's there. Now, I would not rule out some small hail in a few cases out of these that can develop, but lightning and thunder is the main issue. The biggest, by far, limiting factor, though, is not really just the lack of decent shear, the lack of high instability, it's the lack of moisture. I mentioned that dry air. Now, this is kind of a hard map to see. You want to look at the blue lines, and these are like dew points, in the 40s at best, maybe a pocket or two here, 50-degree dew points in the Ozarks, but these dew points are very low, so this is not a big deal. Okay, so having said that, let me at least give you an idea when the raindrops will fall. For this afternoon, we have a chance, as you see on the radar, again, a lot of that's not reaching the ground, but another chance will begin to develop across Kentucky this evening. And there's a question here, because the rapid model is trying to bring this band of showers, maybe some thunder, a little further north into southern Indiana. So there's a chance Louisville could miss out completely on this, or the rapid refresh model could be correct, and Louisville gets hit dead on between, say, 7 and 9 o'clock tonight with some heavy downpours and some lightning. We'll watch that, and we'll keep you updated on social media and, of course, on the newscast this evening to see how this is trending. But there is going to be a band of decent rain, it looks like, passing through. The question is going to be south of 64 or right along it. And that remains to be seen because it hasn't even developed yet. Later on tonight, though, another round. This is an actual front moving through, so there will be some showers with that early tomorrow morning. So we may see a break for a while overnight, but tomorrow morning, more showers pop on the radar, nothing overly heavy. And after this passes by, we see a little sun in the afternoon, but temperatures are actually going to start dropping quite a bit for your Wednesday afternoon. So we should reach our high pretty rapidly, I would say around midday, and then we're going to fall from there. So kind of a chilly day for tomorrow. Then we get into some cool air that gets us to that issue. This is at 1:30 in the morning, Thursday morning, 1:30 in the morning, and you see temperatures already showing up in the 30s then. I do think Thursday morning there's a chance for some patchy frost, and even on Friday morning, perhaps a more widespread area. And I'm just saying patchy right now because the idea of the winds, I just checked some of the soundings. Winds are forecast to be about, I would say, 2 to 6 miles per hour, right on the edge. And there could be some cirrus clouds in a few cases. So there could be some limits to how widespread this frost could develop Thursday and Friday mornings. Having said that, the model raw data that's coming in is at least indicating, temperatures in the low to mid 30s in some cases, in this area I've been outlining. So it's something worth watching. Now, some of the models take us down here in Louisville to 32 degrees Friday morning. I don't see that happening. But I do think here in the city, 41 will be a likely low temperature Thursday morning. And then as we head into Friday morning, right around 38 to 39, which is right on the edge of frost. Frost usually is about 36, 37 to get frost potential. So that's why I'm thinking it's going to be patchy within the metro. But if you live outside the metro, Southern Indiana, and in the valley areas, E-Town, all the way through Campbellsville, Greensburg, and all the way up into portions of Lebanon, Kentucky, those little pockets there where you're in the valley and the winds are sheltered from your area, so you can easily have a calm wind. And if you have a clear sky, you could be around 33, 34 with some decent frost both of those mornings. So Weather Service is analyzing the data now. We don't issue the advisories for frost. They do, so we'll let you know what they decide as we get closer. They probably will wait a little bit longer before they issue anything, but just giving you a heads up, those are still the two best mornings. If we're going to get any frost, it'll be Thursday and especially Friday. We'll watch it. All right. Then we get into this messy setup here for Saturday. Model's still having a tough time. There's a low pressure. We know that's on the map. The question is, how does it track? Does it track more than Tennessee? Does it track right across Kentucky? The difference, a track across Kentucky would mean warm and decent rain and thunderstorms. A track across Tennessee would mean cold, rainy, miserable, but not exactly overly heavy rain. So we're still getting conflicting data on this. The Euro is just now starting to run, so hopefully it'll shed some light because it was the outliner yesterday. The trend today is to continue to keep it chilly. Let me show you, though, what we are facing when it comes to how tough of a forecast we have for highs on Saturday. This is Saturday morning. These are temperatures Saturday morning in the lower 40s, mid 40s here, and then you get into 50s and 60s Saturday morning. I know we got the balloon race and we've got the mini and the main marathon. So it looks cool. That part looks quite likely. I would say 40s, very common. Rain showers, raindrops, pretty likely at this point. But the problem is going to be later in the midday and afternoon time frame. Look how tight this gradient stays in the afternoon. You see why the forecast has huge bust potential, because this is 70 degree air moving into West Kentucky, upper 60s to near 70 in our southern counties, mid upper 40s here in Louisville, and lower 40s, maybe some upper 30s in Cincinnati. What a gradient that is. But go from Cincinnati to Nashville, you can go from 30s to closing in on the upper 70s near 80 degrees. What a drive that would be. So this tight gradient tells me that there's a huge bust potential here on the forecast highs. So, and it may not be the same, and it likely won't be the same for everybody. So give us some patience here on this as we try to figure out how tight this gradient will be, because it's going to be a tough forecast here for our viewing area on Saturday. All right, and then it'll relax early on Sunday. The indices yesterday were trying to give us some hope, trying to reverse around to give us a sign of some warmer air, but not today. The new ones are coming in, and they're coming in with more of a signal. Got negative, negative, got positive. Still got a negative here on GFS and the PNA, which is a warm signal, but the EPL on both of them is still going negative, which means the cool pattern is really want to hang on top. And look at this. Once we get past this problem for Saturday, look at Derby Week. This is heading into Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the beginning of Oaks Day. Some chilly air in the Ohio Valley. All right, it's just one model's interpretation. Here's the GFS for Oaks Day. It does try to give us some showers west of us, Oaks Day. It does show a ridge, though, which is conflicting with the model I just showed you, which would mean a warmer pattern, 60s or 70s, depending on rain. And for Derby Day, it's showing some heavy rain or thunderstorms, but again, mainly south of us, but it still shows the ridge signal. So I would not worry about the rain part of this forecast. It's way too early to talk about rain chances for either one of those days. What I'm looking at is the upper air pattern. Are we going to be in a ridge during this time period, or are we going to see more of a situation where we have a trough over the eastern part of the country? Because that will determine, that'll at least give me an idea if we're looking at cold weather or warm weather. And right now, the data is back and forth on that. So this is probably one of the tougher forecasts for Derby weeks we've had in a while. Not as easy as last year, that is for sure. So, having said all that, there's a lot to track in the next 2 weeks. We have so many events going on between Waterfront and Wednesday. We've got our concert series Thursday at the KFC Yum Center. Looks good for that, by the way. We'll be out there. And then we've got, of course, the balloon race, the Glimmer, the Glow, the marathon races. We have a lot going on. So tracking these rain chances, the temperatures I know is crucial. All right, so we'll take it one step at a time. That's a glimmer, no pun intended, for how things are looking in the longer term as of today. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll have much more details starting today at 5 o'clock.